Kate, I just realized, did I tell you about when the witches came over?
No, you didn't tell me. I need to hear. I follow them on Instagram now.
Oh my God. We told them they need a podcast because as two brothers who kind of have like such charisma, where one is very kind of more serious and intellectual and the other's like really like creative and silly and artsy, and the two combined are just perfection. Not only did they teach us all about witchcraft and cool stuff, but we did a spell.
What spell? What was it?
It's called the 9 knots, and you take this like piece of string or whatever, you tie 9 knots, and each knot has like a different like intention, and then we like literally held hands in a circle, and I didn't shut my window, and I think my neighbors think I'm crazy, and we were chanting stuff, and it was insane, and it was so fun, and I have paperwork that I should send you on like cool spells, but I think you totally have them in the books I gave you.
Probably.
However, Kate,
yeah,
I sent you pictures, right?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll send you pictures of them.
Okay. Of them or
yes.
of your? Oh no, I've seen them.
Okay. So I thought I texted you pictures afterwards. I don't remember, but
you didn't send me pictures of like your experience.
Okay,
if that's the right word.
So I said to them, I need to take a picture for my sister because I bought a bunch of stuff for her at your shop, this and that, and I swear to God, Katie, I didn't hint. I said nothing. They started to bring up The Craft. The movie. And I was like, whoa.
And then you're like, did you listen to our podcast episode something, get on there.
And they, I told them about, did you know they had a Wiccan that was a consultant on this movie? And they were like, totally. And then did you know? And then they kept going on and on and on. And did you know, Kate, that Mano, back in the Craft days, they can't use like the real names of things because they're afraid that like all of the people are gonna like actually practice the spells and stuff like that. So I challenged them. I'm like, are those like real spells that they were doing? And they're like, we totally do those. Yeah, but we like changed the words.
Do they kill snakes and birds and fish and?
No, they're not Nancy. They're the good. They're Sarah. They're the good ones.
Spells bridge. Also, so we've been recording well ahead of time, which means I don't remember what prior episodes we did, and I actually now do feel like we talked about it.
Damn it.
So if this is a repeat, listeners, oh well, you get it twice.
Future Katie, please edit this out.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome back, listeners.
Welcome back.
Happy Groundhog's Day. If I'm doing math right, this is Groundhog's Day. I don't know.
Yeah, and we record ahead, so either we're ahead or behind.
Today
winter, of course. Winter.
I don't know. All right, listeners. So we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And somebody once told me to burn it down.
Ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
11-year-old Katie knew all the words. I don't think 30-year-old Katie knows all the words.
Okay, what is our movie?
Oh, our movie this week is No, just kidding. It's Shrek. Y'all knew it from the song. Don't even try to pretend you guys did not know this.
2001, the original.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot, and they kept getting worse.
And there is a ride at Universal that me and Mary made our dad go on, and it's a 3D ride, and he hated it. But he has a funny picture with 3D glasses on, so it's fine.
And he's like really sweaty. Like, what was that
Bridget,
about?
it's Florida. It's hot down there. We went in the summer.
Oh my God.
I don't know how we made it.
Oh my God. I don't even know. I don't know whose synopsis turn. I know nothing.
Yours. I don't feel bad for you.
That's my ogre scream.
Oh, well. All right.
So, once upon a time, in a faraway swamp, there lived an ornery ogre named Shrek.
Are you reading something? Or is this... I didn't know you were reading something. And I was like, that's really cute. You're doing a story. And then I was like, why the fuck did she say ornery? What is this? Who are you? But now I understand.
Whose precious solitude is suddenly shattered by an invasion of annoying fairy tale characters.
I mean, that's like the first 10 minutes, but what about like the rest?
Okay, taking from my notes, starts with Lord of the Rings music. Once upon a time.
They wish. Oh boy.
Okay, so I'm going to sprinkle in some fun facts with this synopsis.
Yay.
So this was originally a children's book, and I'm doing a little sprinkle.
Who wrote this?
It's some old dude from like 1990 something, and Steven Spielberg purchased the book rights to turn into a movie, and so a lot of this was based on this kind of like curmudgeon ogre that wanted to be left alone, and it definitely has like an anti-fairy tale.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of it came from, but the movie took so long to make.
Oh.
Because, oh my god. First of all, the main character, Shrek, was supposed to be Chris Farley.
Yeah, I did know that.
And they recorded about like 90% of his voice.
Wow.
So they had to redo that whole thing, and they kept trying to find people. So it kind of then morphed into this like other story. Here's, I think, a good way to describe it. The two writers that were making this, as they kind of like the years went on and they're trying to figure out who to cast all this.
Yeah.
Two of them created Aladdin from Disney.
Oh.
Okay. The other two did Beavis and Butthead.
Well, here we are.
Smash those together and you get Shrek.
And you get Shrek.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Shrek lives in a swamp. He wants to be left alone. And all of a sudden, very much like the sentence I say, all of these Disney characters that are like fairy tale tropes show up, and he is pissed because he wants to be left alone. Okay?
Yeah.
We get it. So then he's like, what's the deal? And they're like, listen, Lord Farquaad is the reason we're here. And he's like, who the hell is that? And they're like, go to the castle. And then he gets to the castle and he's like, what's the deal? Why are you putting people on my land? I live in a swamp.
Hashtag get out of my swamp.
Hashtag get out. Beware of ogre. And so he says, well, listen, like, you're just a gross ogre, and everyone just treats him like a gross, ugly ogre, which we get into some emotional stuff as the film goes on.
Some onion stuff.
And basically he says, you have no power over me. I am the Lord of the land, but I can make a deal with you. I'm trying to hook up with this princess, because then that will make me like the true king of this land. So if you help me get the princess, then I'll get rid of all these things on your land. And he's like, oh, fine. So in the meantime, he also meets Donkey, Eddie Murphy.
Donkey.
Fantastic. Which I thought he couldn't have a better name. He's just named Donkey.
He's the donkey. He's the OG donkey.
Okay. It's like they didn't take 2 seconds to think of a name, but all right,
Capital
whatever.
D for donkey.
They're like, I got it, Donkey! And you're like, what? Whatever.
Can't forget that.
So they go on this quest. They, in theory, rescue the princess. The princess is used to the fairy tales where she's gonna meet her white knight, get kissed, and fall in love. She has a spell going on. This will break the spell because she's been in this, like, castle and all that. And so she meets him and learns very quickly he's not a white knight, but he's an ogre. And she's like, what in the heck? And then he's like, I gotta take you to Lord Farquaad. And she's like, who the hell's that? And he's like, don't worry about it. Just come with me. And in the midst of it, they fall in love. And it's because there's a little secret going on with her. It's part of her spell, not to be confused with the craft witch spells we were just talking about.
Or we weren't, because I edited it out. We'll never know.
Or you'll have to edit that out.
It'll be a surprise for me and Bridget, not you guys.
So, when the sun goes down, she turns into an ogre.
What? Such a Shyamalan twist.
Wow, yes.
Woo.
Without the dialogue, thank God. So then she starts to want to kind of confess, but, like all good love, there's miscommunication, and he thinks she's saying he's the worst, and she thinks he's not supporting her, and so she's like, screw you, I'll marry Lord Farquaad anyways. And Donkey's like, listen, I've been your therapist the whole time. I think you two are in love. Go stave this wedding. everything. He does. La-di-da. And instead of her ending up as this, like, beautiful princess of who she was, she ends up as an ogre. And the movie is all about teaching you just to be your true self, Katie.
Be yourself.
All while making fun of Disney, having some, like, SpongeBob adult jokes and kid jokes. And at the time, 2001, this was very advanced animation. Now it's fine. It's, like, not terrible.
Now it's just DreamWorks, where you see a preview, you're like, oh, I guess that's a DreamWorks movie.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I was right. You're like, damn it.
Exactly. That's all I got.
Okay, that was good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they do poke fun at Disney a lot.
Wowie,
which I think as a kid I kind of picked up on, but then I don't know. I feel like this watch I noticed a couple more things.
So, you know what's funny is, like, I didn't attribute Disney as the making fun of. I attribute fairy tales.
Right.
Because Disney is so, like, owns everything, everywhere, everyone, that I just kind of am like, this was really cool because it, like, stopped telling, especially, like, women to, like, wait for your true prince, and you could fight your own battles, Fiona, and all that sort of stuff. But then now that you're an adult, you're like, oh, it's like the commercialism, like they made fun of, like, welcome to Duloc.
Well, that's like the part that reminded me of Disney. I was like, hello, small world. Got it.
But the irony is that this movie went on to be the most commercial, like, instinct possible thing
Listeners,
ever.
I'll say it again. There is a 3D Shrek ride, and it is soups outdated and not the type of 3D you're thinking of, and maybe they should tear it down and do something cool like a Spider-Man something ride, because I don't know.
Nobody knows, Kate.
The irony is real. All right, I want to go scene by scene.
Let's do it.
Thank you, good night. Okay.
That's
the Lord of the Rings, you think?
No, I think this is her singing later, but I was trying to give, like, intro music to the Once Upon a Time. I can't do the Scottish accent.
Donkey! I can only do, like, words in the accent. I can't do the accent all the time.
Oh my god.
That's not it.
People who hated Mike Myers in this was like, his character in SNL, fat bastard, insert any other, like, actor, like, or character he's done, he, like, adds this weird Scottish accent. And can you imagine, like, Chris Farley before and then switching to him? So, I also read that Janine Garofalo was going to be Fiona with Chris Farley.
That's a very different voice.
And when Mike Myers were like, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna be Scottish, they just, like, fired Janine Garofalo because they're like, they didn't even, like, give her a reason. They were just like, yeah, you don't work with this, like, new Scottish accent thing.
Bye.
But like, it is kind of weird that an ogre has a Scottish accent, no?
Does he have pants? I was gonna say he wears a kilt, and then I immediately was like, that's wrong. This is not Braveheart ogre time. Although I do think in one of the sequels, they do make some Braveheart references, which is weird, so I don't really know. But I don't mind his voice. Doesn't bug me.
Well, it doesn't bug me, like, once you're just, like, in it, but it's kind of weird if you think about it. But we see him on the crapper, Kate. He's just taking a big old dump. That's how we start off.
Taking a dump and reading a book?
We've all been there.
Well, we don't really have a lot of time for the book stuff because we got somebody once told me, and then Smash Mouth came alive and they flourished and were golden children in 2001. So thanks, Smash Mouth, for your contribution to society.
I think the lyrics of the song equals the probably, like, plot of Shrek. Like, we all just accepted it. We're like, yeah,
you never know if you don't go. Never shine if you don't glow. Bow wow. Yeah, this movie though, like, I'm trying to remember another, like, 2001 movie, but I think that this movie, like, I like how they do have a lot of songs, and it's not that they're singing the songs, it's just background songs, and you actually get to, like, hear the songs. It's not just, like, I don't know, ambiance or whatever. I like that. And actually, when I was 11, I'll say it, I had the Shrek soundtrack.
Wow.
You think I'm embarrassed? Hell no, because I knew all the words to Smash Mouth All-Star, and you didn't, so watch your mouth. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Super cool, Kate!
I mean, I don't still have it now, don't panic. I don't think. Mom probably packed it in a box for me or something stupid, and she's like, this is important to you, I think.
She's like, take all your documents, get them out of here.
Here's your birth certificate. Yeah.
So, right away, though, we get, animosity. The townspeople are, like, getting pitchforks, they're lighting tiki torches it was a little PTSD.
I hate it so
and
much.
they were going after the ogre. And
wow, I
we were
wish
like,
there was an ogre during that fucking tiki torch bullshit. That would have fixed things, I think.
So
Yeah.
they're getting ready, they're angry, but they kind of sucked at their job because he just shows up and they're all like, ah, and run away, basically.
And that's it. And I guess the point is for us to learn that people don't like Shrek, and then...
They really hammer that home. I'm like, we get it. We get it. They don't like ogres.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make a point about that when we get to the wedding scene, because there's a point I will be making.
Wow, we can't wait.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not that exciting, but I just wanted to say that in the hopes I remember to say it.
Not only do we not like ogres in this area, but we don't like fairy creatures or magic or anything related to it. Why?
Fuck do people not like magic? You should all like magic, okay? That I don't understand that.
Well, okay, and I don't understand if he was going to like, I'm gonna give you a reward for like finding Pinocchio because he has magic. Okay, fine. Why can't you're this like evil king? Why can't they just like do stuff for you? Like Tinkerbell could make shit fly for you.
That's what I'm saying.
Makes
you
no
gotta
sense.
use this a little better. He's just he uses the mirror, and I was like, why is that guy like cool on your books, but not like the other magic people?
Kate in 5th grade, our brother, Jimmy,
Yeah?
was the magic mirror in
What do you
Snow White.
mean? In Shrek?
In an elementary school play of
I was
Snow
gonna
White.
say Shrek did not come out yet, because I was remembering it came out. Wait, what was the play, Bridget?
Oh, it was Snow White, and I remember he
that's
wore
a
like
play.
a black turtleneck, and he had like all black face paint, and I think Mom helped like do a mirror. And I
That
remember
sounds
thinking,
correct.
how fucking perfectly cast is our brother as the magic mirror?
If our brother was this magic mirror and Lord Farquaad was like, show me the princess, Jimmy would be like, yeah, okay, sure. And then he would like show him like troll pictures. Like it would be, I don't know, it would be like pictures of like rocks or like, poop or something stupid. Because that's how he would do it. And honestly, yeah, that's great.
He would have a commercial, like a long commercial that just keeps going.
One of those YouTube commercials that's 20 minutes and you're like, why is this fucking allowed? It's longer than my video.
Oh my
Damn
god.
it.
And we meet Eddie Murphy right away, who, honestly, I think Eddie Murphy carried this movie. I'm gonna say it right now.
Ooh, hot take.
Because, okay, and he was a lot, and he did get annoying. His character did get annoying.
I think that was the point,
But
though.
he was moving the plot along, because the rest of the characters were so, like, their arc didn't happen without him. He was shoveling all the work. Like, his back was broken, okay?
His little donkey back.
His little donkey back and butt. But he was smart, and he was trying to, like, not show that he had, like, magical powers, but Tinkerbell jumped on him, and he was like, I can fly!
Did you fucking see that, by the way? That was Peter Pan about to turn in Tinkerbell.
Oh,
bitch!
My god.
That's fucked up. Also, you're giving away your flying ability, so...
Terrible.
Think about your choices, maybe.
Terrible.
Yeah, and then he gets away, and literally, Donkey runs for, I think, a total of 10 seconds, and then it's like, oh, there's Shrek! I was like, so Shrek was like a stone's throw away over there, and he doesn't know what's going on, and where is the swamp? Can we Google Maps it? Because I don't know how close we are to things. I'm lost.
I don't know, but he saves Donkey, because Donkey's like, ah! And then Shrek, first of all, Shrek is like, I mean, you know all these Marvel creatures,
Bridget,
like
don't
Thor?
Don't say.
But he's like the most, like, powerful thing. Like, everyone's afraid of him. Like, is that Thor? Like, who is... Or Thanos? Like, who is he?
Thanos is the bad one. Bridget, I got nervous because I told you this, when we were going to do this movie, and I don't remember if it was recorded in the last episode because we all have amnesia, but there's scary stuff on the internet about Shrek, and people get very inappropriate, and it really blows my mind because I was trying to figure out, like, why are there people who are really intensely attracted to Shrek? I still don't think I figured it out.
Okay.
I don't know, but you got me a little nervous because you brought up Marvel, and Marvel makes me sweaty in a good way. So that's why I just had to make that point.
Kate, I looked up the same thing. I looked up, why are people in love with Shrek and make, like, sexual stuff to Shrek?
There's, like, fan fiction. Like, are those people okay?
I don't think they are, but
No.
I think it's, like, this thing... it's gone on for so long, people don't know how to go back, so they just all super commit to loving Shrek. Like,
is it because, like, he was kind of, like, an angsty bad guy, but then, like, he had a soft spot, and then it's like, oh, if he falls in love with me, I change him, because that's, like, a weird thing some people are attracted to.
And the internet never agrees on anything, and this seems to be the thing they do, so that people just run with it. It's weird, man.
Even when you and I were sending gifts, and, like, I was looking for a Shrek gift, like, there were not okay Shrek gifts. I didn't fucking ask for them. iPhone 7, okay, get it together.
We gotta get back to Donkey. Who's gonna save this?
Okay, so Donkey's cool, and Donkey literally, right when he meets Shrek, he just continues to monologue, and he very quickly is like, Shrek, I know you're telling me to leave, and you're saying we should be friends because you're, like, a scary ogre, but I don't really give a shit, because now I'm here, and we're friends, and I've adopted you as my ogre friend. And then they just kind of hang, and Shrek is, like, annoyed, but not annoyed enough to, like, get rid of him. So,
well, and Donkey has what our mother has, where Donkey just breaks out into song.
Well, we do that too, though, so.
We do, but I think we got it from our mom.
No, definitely. 100%.
I think what you want to do, and this is going to give some props to mom, is you want to say to that person, you're really annoying. You got to stop that. But the reality is, people love it. And that's where I'm saying that, like, Shrek secretly loved Donkey.
That's why we have millions of listeners, because they love when we break out in a song and we sing the same song 500 times and then
it's never matched. So, all of a sudden, Donkey's following him, and he's like, I'm not afraid of you. I don't think you're a big, scary, ugly ogre. Whatever. Who cares? And Shrek's like, get out of here. You sleep outside. And he's like, oh, whatever. And what happens, Kate?
All the fairy tale creatures come on down in the nighttime, and Shrek doesn't hear it for some reason. I wondered if I was going to actually sing that to a tune of a song, and then I didn't.
It's okay. It went with it.
Thanks. But how the fuck does Shrek not hear 500 fairy tale people setting up camp 10 feet from him outside? I think he doesn't even have glass in his windows.
Honestly, I think he's much better, like, on the attack than on the defense, because, like, the big bad wolf was in his bed.
Yeah.
3 black mice are all over his table.
The freaking dwarves get in there. I'm like, that's a lot of footsteps. Like
Sleeping Beauty or Snow White, somebody's in like a coffin or something, and they're shoving that in. And then there's probably about 100 different fairy tale creatures outside his house.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, here's where I think this movie is a little ridiculous, but I was like, whatever, we get on the quest. He very calmly is like, what are you all doing here? This is my land. And they're like, listen, Lord Farquaad kicked us out. And he's like, where's that dude? Does anyone know where he lives? Of course, Donkey's the only one. And he's like, fine, Donkey, let's figure it out. No map. Nope. No backpack.
Nope.
Okay. No snacks. Okay.
No.
I mean, this is like some Mikeys from Goonies. Like they're just going after it because they got the one-eyed Willy thing. And I'm like, ugh, guys.
At least they had bikes in Goonies. Like Shrek and Donkey got shit, man.
Yeah, and they couldn't even use magical powers to like fly to the castle.
They could have, but nobody's utilizing Tinkerbell very well, in my opinion.
Why does everybody hate Tinkerbell?
I don't know.
And then you remember the 3 fairies from Sleeping Beauty? You could have like hung out with them. Yeah. Had them kind of prop you up.
There were a lot of little flying things, and I don't know.
I did read that they had Disney lawyers watch the movie to be like, are we in trouble from stealing all your characters?
But Disney stole all those from like other stories, so...
Yes, and it was close enough to a parody that they're not like actually stealing the characters.
Right.
For the actual like plot.
I do think it's funny how in future movies, specifically I'm thinking of the sequel to this, the second one, where these like little fairy tale people that you're like, they're kind of funny, but like luckily they only have one line. They get like a lot of character development in later movies, which is like really funny. Like Pinocchio becomes like part of the gang, and then the gingerbread man is like, you know, his own thing. Wait, Bridget, do you remember? I don't remember if you were like in college or if you lived somewhere else, but when Mary was little, we used to watch Shrek 2 all the time. And do you remember Shrek Shrek 2?
Kind of. It's not top of mind. Why?
Okay, I don't think we're gonna watch it anytime soon, so I'm just gonna talk about it. There is a part where, for whatever reason, in Shrek 2, the gingerbread man is like the size of Godzilla, and it's funny, and he's like terrorizing the town, and Mary like used to scream, cry, like in fear the big gingerbread man, and we would have to fast forward that part in Shrek 2 because she didn't like it.
Oh my god, we gotta
so
ask her
funny.
about that. You gotta ask her about that when you head home.
I don't know if she'll remember. I don't even remember how old she was, but I just
my
remember
God,
like the
that's
first time that
so
happened, I was
funny.
like, what the fuck? Anyway, sorry everyone, that's Shrek 2, because the lore is rich.
Well,
I'll
listen,
tell ya.
as you bring up the gingerbread man, Lord Farquaad, by the way, I laugh so hard. He has broken off the gingerbread's little
it's
feet.
horrible.
And he goes, run, run, run as fast as you can.
Oh my
You can't
God.
catch me. I'm like, wow, that's some dark stuff.
That's some serial killer shit right
Yeah,
there.
right?
Because it's Cookie, we all giggle and laugh.
And he's doing a swirly in milk. I mean, it's kind of super dark.
Not the buttons! Not the
He
gumdrop
goes,
buttons!
You're a monster.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I can't remember last time I watched this movie, but the part where he's like, okay, I'll tell you. Do you know the Muffin Man? And they just do the exchange. Like, I still laughed so fucking hard at that part.
Same.
It was so funny. And then
I
they
wrote-
just, like, move on and nobody ever addresses it again.
Nobody
And I was
ever
like,
addresses
wow.
it. And I literally wrote, John Lithgow is perfect
It's amazing.
for this role. He is
Such
perfect.
good casting.
And then we quickly go to our brother Jimmy, the magic mirror.
Our brother Jimmy, yep, there's
He's
the mirror.
doing a game show where he is basically making fun of Cinderella. Then he makes fun of Snow White. Then he's like, and there's also this chick, Princess Fiona. And he leaves out the most important part, which is like she's half ogre.
Well, he kind of starts to mention it and then nobody listens and he's like, I don't care enough because I'm a prisoner. And I was like, same.
I mean,
I don't think I would.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell that either.
I wrote down that he goes, meet this mentally abused shut-in, Cinderella.
Fucking bullshit. Or he makes a joke about Snow White.
Yeah.
Where he's like, she lives with 7 men, but she's not easy. And I was
Yes.
like, oh dear. Okay.
And then literally Fiona's personality is based on a song. Do you like pina coladas?
Jimmy Buffett. Yeah. Homegirls living in Margaritaville. Why? I don't know.
This was the Beavis and Butthead writers because they were like, let's call Donkey Donkey. And we got the rights to the Jimmy Buffett pina colada, so we're going to make that Fiona's personality. And they're like,
Yeah,
okay.
They
moving
definitely
on.
shelled out a lot of money on the soundtrack, I'll tell you. Although I don't
Ooh-wee.
think that Jimmy Buffett song was on the soundtrack, so...
Well, Kate, pull it up from,
I'll
all
go
that.
in storage and find it. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
he basically is like, I think Princess Fiona's the one, and everyone's like, we are your servants, so who cares? And he goes, I'm not gonna go get her though, we're gonna host a tournament, and then I'm gonna make other people get her. And I was like, oh, okay.
And Bridget's like, this fucking middle management bullshit. I don't know if that's correct, but I just like saying that business term
It
now.
totally is. It totally
Okay.
No, you know what it is, Kate? You know what it is? In a time right now where every leader is like, we need to go back into the office, okay? We can't be remote anymore. And you're just like, why? And they're like, because how am I supposed to bully you to do things if you're that person? And you're like, yeah, exactly, sir. And Lord
Sir.
Farquaad had some serious leadership energy, so you're spot on.
He's a tiny man with a lot of insecurities, and there's a
Ooh-wee.
lot of short jokes. Like a good drinking game to watch Shrek is take a sip every time there's a short joke or
Which-
reference, and you be
I
dead.
gotta tell you, the irony of this whole plot of loving yourself, but then making
Yeah.
fun of his,
It's
like,
true.
shortness doesn't hold up. Doesn't
Yeah,
hold
because
up.
they didn't make fun of, like, how he's a dick.
Yeah.
They made fun of, like, how tall he was, and I was like, okay, well...
Or, like, I will say mean things about him because he like, started to say mean things at me, and I'm responding in self-defense. Yeah.
Well, Shrek and Donkey get to Duloc, which is the name of this, something. Where are we in a castle? What is this?
Yeah.
I don't don't know where we are. It's like a town castle.
Yeah.
This looked like Disneyland, and they had the fucking, like, what is it? The, like, velvet rope thing, and this is where Shrek is like, hey, I have a question, and then the mascot guy is running and screaming, which, again, like, I still laughed at. Didn't know if I would this time around, because I knew it was coming, but I still laughed really hard at that.
Wait, also, we have to talk about when Lord Farquaad's haircut at one point, Mom cut Mary's hair. That looked
King Arthur.
Exactly like
People
that.
don't forget.
And
People don't forget.
That character that had like a big head as Lord Farquaad's hair. I was like, oh my God, Mary, that was your hair when you were like 4. My God, why did we stop
That's
our mother?
probably when she was terrified of the giant gingerbread man. So this is just
a lot.
coming
Poor
full
Mary.
circle with ripping on our
Wow.
siblings. Oh
wow.
boy.
Wow.
Oh, Shrek.
I also
did.
laughed at that part, and then they put in a quarter, and Duloc started singing, and I don't know what happened.
I don't even think they paid for it. I think they just pulled a rope. So,
Oh
like,
my
anybody
God.
could go do this, what? And then it sings a song where it almost says the word ass, which as an 11-year-old was the funniest joke ever. This time, didn't laugh as hard, not gonna lie, but, you know,
No.
it's cute
Yeah.
or whatever. I laughed harder when it took a picture of them, and they were just like, because I thought of Disneyland, and I'm like, I bet that happens at Disneyland.
But I
There's
do-
probably something like that.
I did like the lyrics that they're like, Duloc is a perfect place. And you're like, okay. This whole like, get rid of the fairy tale creatures because they're not perfect. And get rid of this. And ew, an ugly ogre. He's not perfect. And you're like, okay. I get it.
Yeah, literally they walk into this tournament thing, which Lord Farquaad is making a speech like, you guys are all gonna kill each other to the death. Whoever's not dead can go rescue the princess where you also might die. And then he goes, some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to take. Which I'm like, I mean, that's, I think, a lot of people in charge. But, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking fine. But Shrek and Donkey literally walk in, and then everyone is like, oh my God, gross! And then he's like, oh, an ogre. All right, never mind. Everybody kill that thing right now. Go. And then everyone's like, okay, yeah, totally.
And Kate, we all of a sudden went back to 10 Things I Hate About You because what makes this movie cool, as you said, is the music where it goes, I don't give a damn about my reputation. And then we're all of a sudden in like a WWE match where he's just wrestling people, but we all just go with it.
Yeah, there was a wrestling rink. I don't really remember how they worked that in to the plot, but
I reference Little Giants. Follow me. Little Giants, Jake's mom is in the crowd going, give him the chair! Give him the chair!
Rip his filthy ears off,
Shrek! Wow.
That also would have been me if I'm just sitting and then all of a sudden like an ogre starts coming and beating everyone up. I'd be like, this is great, everyone. I got my money's worth today.
Listeners, if you are here enjoying this and you do not go back and listen to Little Giants, what are you doing? Because we crushed that. And that movie's epic.
Oh, that's such a good movie.
Oh, so then he wins.
He wins pretty easily.
And Lord Farquaad just runs with it and he goes, I give you our champion. And I was like, wow, that's one way to just roll with it.
And I would just like to point out, then the entire crowd erupts in cheers, and then they love Shrek, and everybody loves Shrek. Let's put that little memory in our pockets for later.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no logic to this movie.
There's it's just, to me, I'm gonna make a point later, guys, so just remember that.
And then in Never Ending Story, they go, here's your quest. You need to go to the tallest castle in the highest kingdom with the fire moat, and there's a dragon to kill you, and you have really nothing to prepare. Go forth, Atreyu. And you're like, what?
And no weapons are allowed. You don't even get a fucking horse. You have a stupid donkey you can't ride on. Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, damn.
Oh, man.
But that's where, I don't know, then we just see them walking, because it's a lot of walking montages, and then you hear the fun songs, and that's cool. This is also where Shrek and Donkey talk, and you get the introduction of the onions. Ogres are like onions. And you're like, uh-huh. And then the whole point is that he has layers, which I think I can apply to anything in the world if you pay me $1, because...
Well, if it's cold out, you wear layers.
And if there's a dog toy, there's layers, because there's stuff inside.
Yeah.
And this wine has layers. And
All I wrote down is, okay, Donkey's the optimist, Shrek is the pessimist.
Yeah.
And then we just had a montage of the journey, and I was getting some serious Willow, Val Kilmer vibes.
Oh my god, if fucking only we had Val Kilmer as a snowball rolling in the background. What a difference that would have made for this movie. Wow. Oh my god. And then he's there when we're fighting the drag. Oh, I can't. I gotta watch Willow. Watch Willow.
And honestly, I was so glad they finally got to this, like, castle because Shrek was making the worst dad jokes. I was like, let's get going.
Okay, I'm gonna also now make a reference back to our brother Jimmy. I don't know how we keep doing this. It's really organic that this is happening. So something's going on. It's weird. But when they're walking across the bridge and Donkey's like, I'm afraid, let me off. And he's like, oh, don't do that. And then Shrek's like, oh, do what? Do this? And then he keeps like shaking the bridge. I was like, this is exactly what Jimmy, our brother, would do. If you were like, hey, here's something I'm worried about, then he would be like, oh, you worry about that? And then he would like, maximize it and you might die. So.
But in this case, Shrek was helpful.
Yeah.
Not emotionally. That must have been a bad onion layer.
And Bridge, what is the reference that Shrek then says to Donkey?
I don't know.
Bridget,
which one?
Are you fucking kidding me?
No,
we did an episode on it. I'm triggered.
Wait, which one? There's lots in here.
Literally when Donkey crosses the bridge.
I don't know. Tell me.
My mouth is agape. Fucking Shrek leans down to Donkey and he pats him on the head and he goes, that'll do, Donkey. That'll do. Bridget!
I'm so sorry.
What is that from? I now need to test you.
Okay, so how this makes sense, because in my notes in capital letters, I wrote babe reference, and I thought I was like calling Princess Fiona a babe, and I'm like, why am I calling her a babe at this scene?
No.
Okay, that'll do, Donkey. That'll do.
That'll do.
Oh,
and then
wow.
Shrek starts singing, if I had words, and then he does a jig, and
then
just
he
kidding.
jigs up to the princess. Oh my god. Yeah, so I gotta say, Donkey taught me some good survival tactics in this scenario, because Shrek goes, I'll get the princess, you just, I don't know, find the dragon, figure it out, and Donkey's in a hairy situation, because this dragon is about to kill him, and it is not looking good. But then he just starts to compliment the dragon, and I guess that's all the dragon wanted. The dragon just wanted, like as far as love languages go, like words of affirmation was this love language for this dragon, because boy, oh boy, did she fall in love with him.
It was like Love Actually quick. Like I was like, ooh, I don't know, dragon. Like maybe you need to go on a couple dates first, dragon. I was more concerned about the dragon's well-being, honestly, than Donkey.
I understand the isolation. Like, what does it do to you? You haven't talked to people in a while.
You can't just fall in love with the first fucking donkey that says you have nice teeth. You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
You're not going to get far in life.
You can't. And then, she ends up really bending over backwards and helping him later when he really wasn't the nicest to her.
Well, and then she also, kind of sexually harasses him, which
That's
is
true.
Not really sure. Inappropriate touching. It was off screen, but, kids movie.
Well,
what?
and then he even, ties her up and leaves her.
Yeah, he does. And then she cries. I feel bad for Dragon.
Okay, well, anyways, basically we get Fiona and we just run out of the castle and Fiona's like, excuse me, my white knight, give me a kiss. I've been waiting for this forever.
Again, Love Actually. Pump the brakes, girlfriend.
She doesn't get it. She doesn't get her kiss. And I wrote, wow, Shrek's like every dude. Low expectations.
He's like every dude. He has green skin and weird ears.
But he laughs at her when she's like, can I get a kiss from my rescuer? Tell me your name. And he's just like, what? No. And I'm like, dude, give her a break, okay?
She is lonely. Does she have a bathroom she's been using in that room? We don't know. How does she eat? No one knows.
We don't know.
And he tells her basically, I was sent by Lord Farquaad. He's the one you're gonna marry. And she's like, well, he didn't rescue me, so I'm gonna sit right here, harump. And then he's like, okay, no, I'm gonna carry you now. And then he fucking carries her, and ew, do you think that's another reason why people like Shrek? Because they're like, ooh, he's brute and
gross,
throws you over your shoulder.
But he's very Beauty and the Beast, okay?
Very
he's very
Beauty and the Beast.
The Notre Dame, what's that one?
Hunchback
of Notre Dame.
Dom?
Yeah, sure.
Did you see the movie? Okay.
But yeah, it's that vibe of oh, just because he's ugly and nobody likes him, and you gotta just like look past that. It's like, okay, internet, we get it. Like there's a lot of us that aren't fucking beautiful models that are on here. Okay, we need to move on. We need a better like hero than Shrek. But okay.
Yeah. Well, and then of course, again, Donkey, he's great, thank goodness. He's like asking Fiona for like love advice because he's like, okay, so say someone likes you, but you don't like them, but you don't want to hurt their feelings, blah, 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 blah. And he's talking about Dragon Lady because Donkey's thinking about Dragon Lady. This is a little foreshadowing, in my opinion, that they're eventually going to date and then have babes, and we don't know how, but...
Wow, that's when the sequels got down.
Sequel reference, take a sip. Yeah, but we come to a point where it's like, uh-oh, it's almost nighttime, and Fiona freaks the fuck out, and she's like, I gotta find a place to go to bed. And they're like, whoa, okay, fine, here's a little rock cave. And then she's like, great, good night. And then she like locks herself in there, and they're like, I guess we'll go sleep here.
And then I got some serious Lion King vibes as they stared at the moon and the stars.
That's literally what I thought of. I was like, beautiful night sky. Hashtag the stars are the kings of our past. Hashtag I thought they were just giant balls of burning gas floating miles and miles away. Hashtag no Pumbaa, you're so dumb. I fucking love Lion King, Bridget. I'm so sorry. Yeah, but, and then this somehow leads to Donkey then, like, you know, again, going into therapist mode, being like, Shrek, you're not talking about your feelings. Why do you shut people out? And he's like, I'm just going to bed. And he's like, no, Shrek, tell me. Why? And then Shrek's like, because everyone hates me and prejudice sucks. And you're like, we fucking know already, but I guess we needed to hear it again.
But also, Shrek, you're not that nice to me, Donkey,
no,
okay?
Yeah, and Donkey's the only one who has been nice to Shrek, so, like, he needs to ease up a little bit. Yeah.
Yep, and honestly, Donkey just starts talking about we and our future, and Shrek gets all mad, and he goes, you cut me deep, Shrek. You cut me deep.
Cut me real deep, Shrek.
I think this whole wall thing is to keep everyone out. It's another one of those onion things.
Hashtag topical. It's one of those onion things, isn't it? I wish someone said that to Donald Trump when he was like, I have a great idea for immigration because I don't know anything and I'm an idiot. And then someone was like, is this one of those onion things? This is for the paper. Please tell me. And I feel like he would have fucking said yes because he's so stupid. Honestly. Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't even. I could keep going on that one, but we gotta keep moving. All
right. So Fiona wakes up. She kills a bird.
Oh my god! And then cooks its eggs. Katie, how dark is that? So dark.
There has to have been a kid that like cried at that part. Like if Mary was alive and old enough, like that would have been her giant gingerbread man moment. I think if she saw that. Oh
Ew.
Man!
And also like we kind of skipped over the Lord Farquaad's like weird Austin Powery like cow print,
and he gets a boner in the bed.
Ew! I hate it. And why is he always drinking martinis? Like what's with martinis? I hate it.
Why does he have a King Arthur?
But as Fiona's like, listen, sorry, we got off to the wrong foot. Here's some eggs from this bird I killed. I'm totally not a murderer.
No.
Let's just, hey, you rescued me. That was cool. So, like, thanks for that. And let's just kind of do our thing. And she burps, and Shrek's like, wow, you're not like all the other princesses I rescued.
Which, I'm sorry. I fucking rolled my eyes hardcore at that bullshit. I was like, oh, wow, a woman burped? She's so fucking wild and crazy. Somebody get her a leash. She's insane. I bet she poops, too. Holy shit. I'm
then
sorry.
Robin Hood.
Oh my fucking god.
Why is Robin Hood French?
I don't care. I don't even care. It's so amazing.
Oh my god, he tries to save her from the ogre.
It's so funny.
His merry men come out and they start doing river dance. Does anyone know what's happening at this point in the movie?
I don't fucking care because it's so awesome. And they literally have like the little fake bushes, like as if they're like, okay, we made this in workshop. Like, you know, we've been practicing 2 nights a week for the past couple months. Like, we're ready to perform. And it's amazing.
Oh my god.
I laughed so hard at that.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I was like, it's funny. But like, this time around, I was like, that's fucking amazing.
Oh my god.
And they do a West Side Story reference with the snaps.
Oh my god. How timely. And she then busts out the Matrix moves and basically beats them all up. Now, I liked this part. This part was empowering. She didn't need the ogre's help. She didn't need the donkey's help. She could take care of herself. This was way better than a bird. This was like, I'm not a helpless princess. You know, I'm fine. And so I was like, okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And then I liked that Shrek liked it. You know, because that was like cool, but just so random. And then he has an arrow in his butt, and then she has to rip out the arrow, and I don't know what's happening, okay?
This is where you're like, oh yeah, this is like kind of a kid's movie because we have to reference butts or farts or poops or burps. Like, that's like where you're like, oh yeah, Beavis and Butthead kid stuff. Got it. So someone was like, what if we put an arrow in his butt? Like, you didn't need it.
And then we tell Donkey to go find a blue flower, and he's colorblind, and we make fun of a lot of people's like natural things for a movie that's like accept yourself, and then they go through this weird montage of like falling in love, Katie, and I'm like, because like she beat up one team of people, what's happening?
Okay, well, first of all, we need to pause and go right on back to Donkey going to Blue Flower, Red Thorns, because every time I see that scene, I think of Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, where Aragorn is like, Sam, you gotta go get some Kingsfoil. Kingsfoil? That's a weed. He's like, yes, you gotta go get it. Get the fuck out of here. And then he runs off to go find it, and there's no other connection besides that, but every single time I see that, I think of Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, Donkey, you're like Sam, but you're colorblind, so you're not gonna do a good job.
Donkey is Sam, and
Sam is Donkey.
And as we got older, adults appreciate Donkey, adults appreciate Sam, because Sam is the best friend that we should be to others.
And
wow,
Lord of the Rings is the best.
Anyway, so they fall in love.
Okay, so
Donkey's
sorry.
like, yo, I'm super third wheel, but I'm awesome, so I roll with it.
Okay, this is what I wrote for this whole, like, this whole montage of them where it's just, again, music playing, nobody's really talking, but it's just them kind of traveling and they're bonding. You see them, like, yes, falling in love. I wrote, wow, so, okay, these guys are basically just walking to Duloc and terrorizing the local wildlife because I think they murder, like, many animals for no reason. They fucking turn a frog and a snake into balloons. Why? Just 'cause then they float away to their deaths and they're never to be seen again. And for those animals, this was a horror movie. That y'all don't think of Shrek like that.
Well, and then that's when Princess Fiona and Shrek are bonding. So, like, once again, the internet is weird for loving him.
Yeah.
But we do another stop at camp, right? We get another place.
Yeah, because they're like, oh my god, wow, there's Duloc. It's, like, right there. It's, like, 10 feet away. And then Fiona's like, oh my god, we should, like, hang out here because, Donkey's sick. And they, kind of gaslight Donkey a little bit.
Poor Donkey.
He's an anxious little guy. And they're like, you look sick. And then he's like, oh my god, I'm sick. And then they're like, great, let's hang out. Hooray for us. So Fiona kind of initiates that. And she's like, we should stay right here and hang. And they're like, yeah. So they do that.
Well, and Shrek tries to ask her on a date and chokes. And,
he does say he invites her to his swamp.
Okay.
Technically.
Okay.
It's like, you should come over some time. It's like a vague invite date.
Okay.
Not my favorite kind of date invites, but like, might
It was
count.
a start. But basically, Princess Fiona does her thing. She goes and turns into the ogre, which we all know about her, but obviously Donkey and Shrek don't. Donkey's like, hey, you know what? As the carrier of this movie, I'm gonna really try to make this love match happen. Princess, you in there? You in there? Ogre, eat the princess!
And then he fucking calls her ugly like 800 times. And I was like, okay, I think we're getting a little lost. This is for children. We gotta remember this is for children because you're telling us you should love who you are. And then you're also saying, but sometimes you're ugly. And I'm like, well, but is that okay?
And then basically Shrek also is like, okay, I'm also gonna go and like just talk to Fiona, but he's just listening to the conversation and he doesn't know what's happening. It's a big miscommunication because he thinks she's saying he's ugly and she could never be with him. But boy, oh boy, she's just talking about herself, Kate. Ain't that the truth?
It's like a fucking episode of Degrassi, y'all. The misinterpretations. God damn, I know y'all missed my Degrassi references. It's been a hot minute. I know you missed it.
We totally do. Totally.
You totally did. Don't worry, guys, because even though we record ahead of time, it's coming upon the time where Katie's going to start her rewatch of all the Degrassis. That always happens around the new year. So
Good luck.
Anyway, so sorry. So yeah, basically we have a big stupid miscommunication because hashtag third act breakup, hashtag ogres, but we don't know we're ogres. Go team. So Shrek angrily goes and he gets Lord Farquaad so that by the time Fiona wakes up in the morning, Farquaad's already there and Shrek is hella rude and he's like, I know what you said. I know what you said.
And was
Fiona.
rude to Donkey.
He's fucking rude to everyone. He's rude to everyone. He's a dickhole.
He is.
He's an onion dickhole. Okay,
Yeah, again.
and that's the grossest of dickholes.
That's so gross.
Ew. I hate that I said that. I'm sorry.
But he's like, yeah, see you later. And Lord Farquaad was like, wow, okay, well, way to go, Ogre. Here's your, your land back, I guess. And, sure, okay, deal's a deal. And Princess Fiona's like, well, screw you, Shrek. And she moves on her merry little way. And honestly, I was like, ugh, snooze fest. Can we just, like, go to, like, quippy lines and, like, silly stuff? Like, let's just move on.
Well, we can't, Bridge, because we have a sad music montage. Woo! It's so sad. And, the symbolism, I guess.
Hallelujah.
That's like a pretty famous song, honestly. I've heard that song in a lot of different
You're
contexts.
Like, oh my god, the emo.
Little emo, it sure fucking is. And then we get interrupted from this. Thank God. Who saves the plot, Bridge? Who's saving us?
Donkey.
He has become a confident self-advocate.
Mm-hmm.
He is an upstander for himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he's about to tell Shrek to shove it.
Mm-hmm.
And that he loves him, but also shove it. And I was like, yeah, that's fucking right, Donkey.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and he goes, this is half my swamp. I'm gonna live here too. And friends, forgive each other. And also, I went back to the castle. I know there wasn't a bridge, but somehow I jumped over the moat, got the dragon. The dragon's back, and now I'm ready to go get your lady. And you're like,
wait, I don't think Donkey did that. I think the dragon just appeared next to him in a riverbank.
I'm making all that up because I don't understand.
I was like, Bridget, did you see a deleted scene? Okay.
No, I don't understand how the dragon got to him because they don't tell that part. So this is the part I'm making up.
That would have been better to watch than the stupid sad montage, honestly. I would have preferred to watch Donkey be like, frick, and he's just walking to the fire castle and somehow figures out how to free her. Yeah.
Oh my god, wait. Here's the deleted scene we all need. Donkey goes to Tinkerbell. He goes, sprinkle some of that on me. Flies to get the dragon.
Amazing.
Okay. Then kind of falls in love with the dragon. Is like, hey, sorry, I'm just trying to do some new things. Like, my friends are kind of jerks to me, but I just realized love is important and real. And would you come back to me and help my friend? And then dragon's like, totally. I was waiting for you forever. And then they fly back. How cool would that scene be?
Fucking
God. Beavis, Butthead, Aladdin, where were we for you?
Trademark. We're making that deleted scene. Just the scene. I don't care. We're gonna do it.
The internet will take it and run with it as they do.
Yes.
But Shrek's like, oh, all right, Donkey. I'm sorry. And you're like, thank you, Shrek.
Yeah. I'm glad that they did have him apologize because I feel like sometimes people don't always write characters to say the right thing. They intend for them to do the right thing, but it's not gone about the best way. But Shrek did. He was like, I'm sorry. You were right. I was wrong. And then he kind of hones in on, oh, well, Fiona wasn't talking about me. Who was she talking about? And Donkey does a great deflect and he's like, we're not talking about that because we gotta go to the wedding.
Hey, Donkey's, for being a loudmouth, he could keep a secret.
Yeah, I know. He's good.
Well.
He's good like that. So, good thing we got this fucking dragon because now we're flying in a dragon and now it's Khaleesi from Game of Thrones and let's go murder some men. Hooray.
Oh my god. And literally Donkey's like, listen, you just have to say, I object. You gotta wait for this moment. Say, I object. And Shrek's like, okay, well, when's the moment? And then he just barges in and screams, I object! Which I hope one day you and I could do that at a wedding. I don't know whose wedding. I hope it's actually a funny moment and not a meme moment.
Oh my god.
Because I think that is one thing that only happens in movies, but I would die to see that in person.
I feel like if we went to Vegas together, we could do that.
Oh my god, we could get drunk and just run through the chapel.
Just find a wedding chapel and be like, Elvis, I object. Oh my god. And he's like, what?
Oh man.
Yeah, so he interrupts and then, okay, here, y'all ready? Remember Katie made a reference? Remember the reference I made earlier? No? Don't worry, I'll remind you. Shrek fucking walks in. This is the same crowd of people who were literally cheering for him and throwing flowers and we love Shrek and hashtag give him the chair. But now he walks in a day later and they're like, gross! And it pissed me off because I was like, where the fuck is the chair lady? This is a bunch of bullshit. Y'all are fake townspeople bitches.
Wow.
Support Shrek better.
Wow. Okay.
He's the wrestling champion. He literally won WWE. This is bullshit.
Maybe this town deserves a terrible leader like Lord Farquaad.
Maybe, because I'm fucking over it.
Wow, Kate.
Anyway,
Well,
that's it.
Okay. Well, don't worry, because Lord Farquaad laughs when he's like, oh my god, the ogre's in love with you, and oh my god, what's happening? And like, is very
Super rude.
mean. But
Yeah.
don't worry, because there's a Jurassic Park Tyrannosaurus Rex end scene where the dragon comes in, and all I heard was like, and then the flag of Jurassic Park flies down, and she just swallows him whole like a snack.
It's amazing. Iconic.
Wow.
And nobody, like, screams or runs or anything bloody murder. The townspeople are like, all right, we're into it. And I was like, y'all are brain dead, and I am over it. If I'm gonna rule your town, you better get more of a personality, people. Because this
Is that you've been thinking
bullshit.
about that? Okay.
This is a bunch of bullshit. Anyway, so then Shrek's like, Fiona, I love you. And she's like, same. And then they kiss, and then it is literally like Beauty and the Beast now.
Yes, she does the spin in the air thing with
spin in
all
the
the
air
magic, and you're like,
Wow.
what's happening? But she comes back down as an ogre, and Shrek's like, say what?
And he's like, damn, girl.
Kate,
Ooh.
let's do a little analysis on this. So, like, I understand the ogre part, because he's an ogre, but, like, she could have also just been the princess. Why couldn't she be both?
Which I don't think, physically, like, I would be worried for her physical well-being.
She's so little.
If she stayed the same size. Her head was like 20 times smaller than him, and I just don't think...
Okay.
No.
Okay, so it's just like a good sizing thing. Because, like, is the message like, oh, you have to look like each other to be with each other? You know what I mean? It's like, come on.
Yeah,
Why can't she be split? Why can't she be like, hey, it's nighttime, so this is me at night, and then I'm like a lady during the day, and you're like, cool, man.
That would have been actually cool if she was like, woo! I'm just like two people all the time, and that would have been better.
Right?
But I feel like they were trying to go for like, oh well, Beauty and the Beast, you look like that, so now we do the epithet. That's what I feel like they said to each other, sober, in professional meetings, getting paid thousands of dollars to write this movie.
That definitely was the Beavis and Butthead writers.
Exactly how they spoke. Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah. But then, hey, they love each other, and now they get married, and I don't know if it's Love Actually, we got married today, or if we waited a little bit to kind of plan, but it doesn't matter, because we're married and we love each other, and then all the fairy tale people are partying, and it's a great Tim.
And I saw her face.
Bam, 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 bam.
Oh,
and Smash
I'm a
Mouth is like,
believer.
yeah, baby, fill our pockets
her
with
face.
the money.
No doubt in her mind. And honestly, Donkey, I would dream to have him be my live singer at my wedding.
Yeah, and to have gnomes
I
playing
believe,
the piano.
I believe. Ow! Ah! Believe! Yeah! Oh, wow, Kate.
So, I don't know if you remember this, because you obviously were older when this movie came out, but in the VHS version of this movie, there was a part where Shrek, and he's like, hi everyone, welcome to the Shrek in the Swamp dance party, and then it's literally a montage of all the characters just doing, like, karaoke songs.
What?
And I tried to, like, stick out the credits a little bit, and then I couldn't do it. So I don't know if on streaming this still exists, but that was something on the VHS, and it was kind of funny, because it's just a whole bunch of montages of all the characters singing random songs.
I mean, who doesn't love that?
It's definitely on YouTube. You could probably YouTube it and find it, but it's funny.
Woo!
So, yeah, Easter eggs, hashtag Marvel spoilers, JK, Shrek spoilers.
But the best after credits Easter egg is from Napoleon Dynamite. Go back and watch that movie.
People, don't forget.
People don't forget.
Episode 7.
Woo!
Damn.
Kate, Shrek, watch it or don't watch it.
I would watch it. You gotta watch it at least once. It's culture, people. Shrek is, I don't want to say it, but like my body's forcing me to say it. Shrek is life. For
Shrek
some
is
people
love.
on the internet, Shrek is love. Shrek is life. Please be very careful what you Google about Shrek, but watch the movie at least once because it is funny, and I think as an adult, you still can laugh at it.
Mhm.
Am I gonna pay super close attention?
No.
No. And like kids can watch it. It's not like inappropriate, really.
I would show my kid. I think it's funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
I would say watch it, and for listeners that watched it, I want you to email us and let us us know why the internet's obsessed with Shrek, because all of the articles, in my opinion, don't get specific enough. So let us know. We can't figure it out.
And if you yourself have written a Shrek fan fiction, I love you, but don't ever send me that, because I will throw up. But I support everything you guys do, but I just don't want to see it ever. So,
how Lord Farquaad of you. So, Kate...
Bridge,
it's my turn.
Yes.
And I'm picking a movie.
Oh boy.
And I'm picking a listener pick.
Ooh, another listener pick.
Another listener pick.
We didn't reference this for Shrek, but this movie, Shrek, was
God.
a listener pick.
This was Julie.
I'm so sorry, everyone. This is what happens when we have amnesia. This was a listener pick. Shrek was picked by my best good friend, Jenny.
Oh, Jenny or Julie?
This was Jenny.
Oh, Jenny.
I think, or I blacked out. No, you're making me doubt it.
Actually, the name that you put in because you guys were drunk is Seymour Butts.
That's Jenny.
Okay, Jenny.
Thank
we
you,
love
Jenny Seymour Butts, because Jen didn't believe me when I said All Star by Smash Mouth was in this movie, and I told her I would bet her money it was, and then she Venmoed me $4 that I didn't ask for because she was wrong. Wow. Jen, I love you.
We love you, Jen. Thanks for this.
Anyway, yes, listener pick. Wow.
So we'll do a better job of calling out the listener pick, but this is James.
Woo!
Okay, and this is a movie I have never seen. Oh. It is from 1993.
Best year for movies, yeah.
Wow, we really do a lot of 1993 movies.
Because it's the best year for movies, Bridge. How many times can I say
this is for all the men that listen to our podcast, okay? I think this is going to connect with you. This is described as an American dystopian action film.
Okay.
We got some heavy hitters back in the 1993, okay? We got Sylvester Stallone.
Ooh!
We got Wesley Snipes.
Oh!
We got Sandra Bullock.
Yes, we do!
This is a movie I am certainly going to learn about, and James, thank you for doing this. Demolition Man.
Woo!
Kate, what the hell is this about?
You never seen this movie?
No!
We're gonna have so much fun with this. Okay, oh my God.
He wrote, I'd love to hear your take on the 3 seashells.
Oh, Bridge. It's gonna be a long conversation.
Woo! Oh my God,
I don't even want to give you context.
Wow.
It's not scary. It's like an action
No, I said
movie.
Dennis Leary is in it.
Oh.
God, Kate, we sound like old ladies. Good God.
Dennis Leary is in this movie. He goes on a Dennis Leary monologue.
Well, there we go.
Is anyone surprised? So, yeah.
Well, Kate.
Oh, Bridge.
I just want you to know, if you were stuck in a castle, waiting for your true prince to kiss you because you had a spell, okay, I would call up my witch buddies and I would counteract that spell with another spell to make you fly and get out of that spell while being able to pick whatever form you want. You could be an ogre, you could be the princess, you could be anything else, but our spell would be more powerful because I got the guys down the street.
I want to be a dog.
You could be a dog!
Okay, yay!
Done.
I just get to sleep all day. Oh, well, and Bridge.
Yeah?
If we were in Vegas and we were having a good time, I would go on the internet and probably way too quickly be easily able to find a wedding venue that makes everyone dress up as Shrek and Fiona to get married, and I would bring us there to interrupt someone's wedding by saying I object, and then we'll run out and say JK, Shrek is love, Shrek is life, gotta go because I love you.
Do we have a sign that says, like, I object in the front, but in the back it says, just kidding, and we just run through it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just flip it over, and we're like, gotta go, bye.
Wow, Kate, thanks. That sounds amazing.
Oh, and listeners, if you also have a bucket list item of objecting to a wedding, but in a funny way and not a mean way, or if you are confused why a lot of people are sexually attracted to a cartoon ogre, who's not a human. Or if you think that Donkey needs his own spin-off movie where he finds the dragon and falls in love.
Ooh.
Yeah. You should write us a review.
Hey.
We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts. And because we're writing these or recording these ahead of time, Spotify just added ratings. You can't write yet, but you can leave a rating in terms of like stars. It's out of 5 stars. So I know we have a lot of Spotify listeners. I know y'all are on there. I see you. I track you. So I need all of you to go and give us a 5-star review. It's literally 1 click. You do 1 click to listen to us, so you can do like 2 clicks, I think. Do it for Shrek, if anything. Yeah, and we also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. So we have a part on our website. If you scroll down on the main page, there's a form you can fill out to request a movie. We have been doing a couple listener picks lately. So we have Shrek, which was requested by Janae, and our next movie, Demolition Man, was requested by James. So if you would like to get on that, you would like to have your name immortalized on the podcast airwaves, then you can do that. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can buy us coffee.
Woo!
And since we're doing this ahead of time, it should still be cold out. So coffee could be hot chocolate, keep us warm. Because you know what?
What?
It's winter and it would be nice.
Yep.
Something warm. Yeah, and also money. Like money, please. Okay? And I'm thinking about your friend Jenny, who Venmoed you $4, but she could have put it on the Ko-Fi site, so...
Well, I denied her Venmo give or whatever it's called, because I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my god. But just go on. And if you match it with a pic, you know, it helps. So get on there, okay? Let's do it.
Do it. All right. So check all that out, listeners. And we'll see y'all next week for Demolition Man.
I don't know what we're in for.
It's gonna be a lot. If you were able to drink, I'd say have a sip during it. Because you're gonna laugh a lot, I think.
It's like,
and it's
really
not
ridiculous.
Always supposed to be funny. But like, it is ridiculous.
Sylvester Stallone is like, I mean, we did Rocky, which I think is like his best of the best.
It's
so
magnum opus, yeah.
I feel like this might be bad. Is this gonna be bad?
I don't think it's bad. I think it's
we'll yell at James if it's bad.
Actually, a lot of the humor, I think, is like supposed to be there. It's got some commentary, actually.
Well,
yeah, so
I'm ready for it. Woo! And listeners, I hope you are too. We'll see you then.
See you then.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Saw her face. And I'm a believer.
Played that in the 7th grade talent show in middle school. Chicka chicka yep.
Love you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Shake Shrek. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.